This episode has been brought to you by Faith Bynum, CPA PC. We're more than just taxes, and we're ready to help entrepreneurs and business owners reach their goals. We offer business strategy and development, nonprofit management, outsourced CFO and accounting department, and we serve as advisors for startups, small businesses, and entrepreneurs. You're building your dream. We can help you take it to the next level. Find us at faithbynum.com and 919-858-6807. We're Faith Bynum CPA PC, where people matter.
Yeah, we in the building. 4 times dope. Yeah, we known to get it live, man. 4 times dope. New level, keep it high, yeah. 4 times dope. Mic check, now we on it, we live.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Right.
You in North Carolina or you in Maryland? Where you at?
I'm up here. I'm up here.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
As a New Yorker say, up top. Fuck out of here, nigga. Out of here. You know, back up top.
Right.
You Raleigh fool.
You've been here for 10 years.
Right.
You've been
Bone and bread.
Back
Bone
up top.
and bread. How y'all week been so far? I mean, it's only hump day, but you know.
I mean, I've had an exciting day, boys.
What happened?
We bought a car and sold a car.
Oh, you bought another car?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
What
okay.
you get? Hold up. Y'all just got the Benz. What else you get?
The X5,
Oh,
Okay.
who's driving that?
the wife.
So
In the
what'd you
Benz?
sell?
Huh?
What'd you sell?
I sold the Mercury Mariner.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just left CarMax. And let me tell you what they did to me, dog.
Good.
So you go online and they tell you what your car is worth. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, $1,600?
Mhm.
Bad money. Let's go. 1600. I can use that.
Mhm.
I get there, and as soon as I saw the boy walk out there, I said, I ain't gonna get no money for this car. It was one of those white guys, you know, that the white guy.
Mm-hmm.
His body language told me I wasn't gonna get shit for that car.
Take his job way too
No bad
serious.
guy you talking about? Yeah.
Man, he took the job. Wait, as soon as he got to that car, he got on his knees and started looking at shit. I
Right.
said, oh God.
That nigga did a military special on that car. Didn't he?
Oh God. Man, he got back in there, took it to the girl. The girl came to me, she hit me with it went down significantly. Golly. She showed me that paper. That thing went down to $500.
Dang.
No. Hey, Jamie. All along it was 500. They got your ass sitting there with that quote they
1,500.
gave.
Yeah.
Goddamn right. They did. They could have told me that car was worth $80,000 and then told me it's worth $500. They played me. They got me. I mean, we had to get it off anyway because we had the other car, so we had to get rid of that fourth car.
Right.
So
Hold on. So you got like.
So you want to say one for Madison?
I mean,
It's not.
What you
pick
got?
one,
Three?
Sal. Just get up and go. Live your life. Go.
Question is, did you want to drive? A lot of these young folks don't even want to drive like that no more.
Yeah, she
Sure.
backseat rider now. She'll get in
You
the
ready?
back.
Oh, that's good.
As in, it's
That's-
me and her, and she'll get in the back, or it's her mom and her, she'll get in the back. So she's a
Right.
chauffeur child.
Right.
They're like, nah, could you mind if I get in the back? It's like,
How old is she again, Jamie?
14.
Oh, she be driving a year and a half. So
A year from now, because her birthday is next month, so she's gonna be up there.
But what I'm saying is that a lot of these kids, when they turn 16, some of them not excited like we were about to turn 16, get our license. They cool with the Uber.
That's true. They like Uber and Lyft.
And I read a lot of
Well, she's not a
parents
Lyft
like
child
that,
or
and they
Uber
be just
child.
like, nah, I don't even care about driving. Like they don't have. I'm not saying a whole bunch of people, but but I know it's a portion of that generation that doesn't care about driving like we did.
She's still
Right.
a little bit country, as in, yeah, I do want a car. So she says. So yeah, I mean, she wants to drive. I let her drive the Mariner, so we drove around the parking lot, parking and stuff. So she's excited.
So
the Benz is just sitting, Jamie.
Yes, it's a Sunday car.
I got you.
Sunday big hats.
I'm learning these things.
Yeah. We had that discussion, right? You and I had that.
You don't drive the Maserati every day. You can't do that.
No.
Yeah, that's
So
the
you don't
weird
drive the
thing.
Benz every day. You drive the BMW X5 every day.
Yeah, man.
Right.
I'm learning.
Yeah,
Hey
for real.
man, we growing, man. That's how it is.
We
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, we're growing.
Right, for real.
Yo, man, that's crazy. Oh, I want to ask y'all, and I meant to bring this up last time we spoke. By now, everybody in the American scene is, I mentioned Jermaine the other day, but I already know Kashar. So y'all, Jam, you seen Squid Game already, right? I'm assuming.
I seen episode 1.
What? That's it?
Yeah, because we was watching a bunch of. So we're documentary buffs here.
Yeah.
So we were watching. I think it's called Money Works or something. But it's about these people who were using athletics to like do bootleg shit. One kid was from Arizona State, so we were flip-flopping, and I'm like, I like this more than I would like Squid Game, because the guy was too animated to be in movies for me. I had to get. I've watched the first episode. Like, okay,
well, yeah,
it's starting to get good.
Well, it picks up, it's telling you the story, like it's setting everything up. So you got to get
Bad Sport is the documentary I was watching.
Okay, I saw that.
Okay,
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you saying, Kwame?
You could get past all the animated stuff and like South speaking like one of those old kung fu flicks, you know, in South Korea. But I mean, by now everybody probably talked about it, you know, a million times. I mean, I know that it's like it broke a record for Netflix, 111 million.
It did.
Oh wow!
For a debut series, man, and this
I don't know. It's flooded the culture because it's everywhere, and I'm like, I don't want to look at these memes. They have all these references, and I only know the first episode.
Yeah, right. It picks up it picks up after that.
Okay,
but it's just you gotta be in the set though, you know, in that space to watch it. But I don't know who came this crazy mess, but. Definitely,
but they said they was trying to sell it like 5 years before this.
Yeah, longer than that. Yeah,
but really? Nobody would pick it up.
Wow. Hey, Netflix, if you got a little spark with you, man, I will say Netflix they'll fuck with you,
pick
boy.
You up.
They'll pick you up.
Yeah, you know what? Bethune-Cookman has a documentary on Netflix.
No,
and each episode is like only 15 to 12 minutes.
Wow,
really? That's big.
It's big. It's like, it's so disrespectful. Just make it 30.
Yeah, 15 more minutes. Yeah,
just give it another half. I mean,
right.
I appreciate it. I mean, the band director's nickname is like Dr. Death or something. Dr. Mean. He's a mean guy, but he gets shit done. Because they do have a large band to be a small school. And I learned a lot about him. Like, just make it 30 minutes. It's episodes. It's like, I think 8 episodes. But the point is, you know, Netflix will pick you up if you got your shit together.
Yeah, that's real talk.
I think what Netflix also give you is the fact that I think those foreign films is a big deal, because like now you're not just getting the perspective of America film, you get perspective of different countries. Like I be watching British films, like you could have last year, Top Boy, my joint last year, boy.
Right.
Did they have, is it 2 different shows? Because I watched the one.
Was 2 different ones. It's like Top Boy Summer House, I believe. You know, and that was the original show. Like
that's the older one.
That's the older one. That was, I guess, on the UK channel like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And Drake and I guess his team picked up the newer one, which is regular Top Boy. So it got some of the same characters from the original, but they also got new characters on that too as well. Yo, I was in that joint talking like, "What up, bruv?"
No, dog.
Wagwan.
He said, "No, you're real right, but here's the one.
And
you can't eat my food. Where's the food? Drugs is food.
Y'all know exactly.
I'm food, bruv.
It was a brother. That was my joint, man. So, but it gives you a whole different perspective. Like I said, a lot of those gangs and stuff like that, it wasn't filled with a whole bunch of shooting, because I think like the laws for like guns up there in England is like very, very, very strict. So it's like you see a lot of the stabbing and people throwing stuff on you, and it's like their stuff is almost personal when they be trying to get into, you know what I mean?
I got to get up on.
But you know what, too? When I was living abroad, I didn't have a choice but to look at like documentaries and TV shows that were like produced in like London and Italy, and it allowed me to really tap into their culture and place like not just like their filmmaking, but like their culture against the backdrop of America.
Mhm.
And I was able to really see just how like of an okay corral America is. Like America,
Yes.
no holds bars, man. And I've always been a big
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes fan, but they had the Sherlock Holmes series that only came over abroad, and they did like even in the shows, you don't really see a lot of gunplay, right? You might see somebody getting poked out and stabbed or something like that, but it's not really a lot of
Yeah.
gunplay. So they don't subconsciously promote like gun violence.
Right.
But even with contact sports, mind you, I was gone for a while, so contact sports don't exist there, like badminton and soccer, what they call football. So America is just, man, even through film, we can see just how we're conditioned and programmed to buy
Right.
in.
We are super conditioned.
Like,
to
you know
receive
what I'm saying?
violence.
Right. So
I got a quick fact for y'all. If you want to know the difference between a comedy film and a drama film, look for a gun on the cover.
Right.
You know, it's always going to be a gun to signify to you that, okay, this is going to be a drama.
Right.
If it's a gun on the cover, that means it's gonna be a drama. If it's not a gun, it'll be a comedy.
Right.
It could if there's no gun, chances are it's not a comedy.
Yeah,
Shit, 48 hours is a comedy, but he still got a gun in his hand.
Right.
Yeah.
But chances are, if it's a white man with a gun, that motherfucker is probably gonna be, a drama.
Busy.
But Jamie, but also, isn't it based off of how many people are killed within the film too? How many?
That determines.
But over here,
that determines
if a gun is nothing.
Well, right, but I'm saying it determines the rating of it, the PG, whatever.
Yeah.
And it also, right, the number of folks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. It could be determined how much cussing, what words you're using, cussing in terms
of course, nudity. Determines
how much nudity it is and stuff often. So yeah, all that.
But they do that a lot of stuff where they trade. Like, look, you give me this cuss word, and I take away this nude scene, or vice versa, to keep a PG-13 or PG or R rating.
Right.
I think I heard that from Jamie Foxx or someone had a movie they were trying to probably Eddie Murphy. They were trading cuss words for nudity and to keep a low rating or a PG or PG-13 rating.
Right.
Well, it's funny actually we talking about this right now, because I don't know if I was gonna ask y'all this or not. Anyway, it's ironic that we're speaking about this because Addison, well, we all have been home, because of COVID or whatever. So the kids have been in school and they really haven't had that much work to do because whatever reason, the schools have not provided enough work for them to do while they're in quarantine. So anyway, Addison, she's been watching Netflix and stuff, and she loves watching the show with Flex and Kyla Pratt, 101. Remember that show? She's watched it a million times, like over and over and over again. But anyway, me and her was having a conversation because I was like, "Why are you watching this?" And she was just like, "She like it." So it just got to me thinking about, we already know it's like a lack of Black representation on TV. So I think one of the things Netflix is good about is diversity. You see everything.
Yeah.
From old to new, you just see a lot of diversity. But anyway, it got me talking to her because I'm trying to get her to, both of them, but more her, to just know more about, their Black culture and just different people or whatever. So anyway, it went from that conversation to me thinking in my head, like if I could choose like create a cast for a show that I would want to see on TV, I was like, who would those people be that I would bring together to be a show, movie, or whatever? So once I did that, I made her go and research, those artists, and I want her to write a little report on each one of those people. But that's for her. But I was going to ask y'all, if you could create a show or movie right now, who would you cast to be in that show? Like 5 people.
So that's
why you
comedy?
Why you
pick up this?
You do it. It could be a comedy, drama, whatever you want it to be. But like for mine, I told her I wanted her to go look up. But my cast members would be Robert Guillaume. Benson played Benson, but he's dead. But I would love to see him in this movie.
It's a movie or a TV show?
Mine would be a movie.
Either or.
Yeah, it could be whatever you want to be. Robert Guillaume would be like the grandfather role. I would want to see like Blair Underwood as the father role. He'd be like the son to Robert Guillaume. Danielle Brooks, I want her to play like older sister. Issa Rae, a sister, and Asian Naomi King from How to Get Away with Murder. I would want to see her, like these three sisters with the dad and the grandfather. So anyway, I just told her to go look at those people, but those are people I would want to see in a movie or film something together. Like that would be my cast that I would create. So,
Right.
Jamie, what about you? Could be anybody.
I'm typing it out as I speak. I'm thinking an all-star cast: Jamie Foxx, Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart, and an older comedian, Dave Chappelle, and like a fifth. But I want somebody like Sinbad randomly, and I don't have a plot. That's a lot of star power. I mean, that's on some life star power.
Definitely would be a comedy. It would be a comedy for sure.
Got somebody knows. You can't get, you don't get these these horses in here and don't let them do that thing. No, I'm thinking those.
I was thinking something along the lines with Jamie, like a powerhouse of comedians, like Richard Pryor, Pops from Friday, Chris Ice Cube's dad, Martin Lawrence, Tommy Davis, and like those folks who really didn't get the shine they deserve.
That's a good.
So that's 4, and then my last comedian would be like a woman, like Monique or somebody like that who can balance this thing out. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I had nothing for you. I couldn't even tell you.
You reckon your brain? I had to type it out.
Yeah, off the brain, I couldn't come with nothing like that.
That's a good question though.
Yeah, I couldn't even do it.
You have nothing for us. All right, guys, let's jump into our first topic. I do a formal opening. Again, my name is Jamie. You may call me JP. Got my friends here, Kwame, got Kasharo, and my homeboy Jermaine, and we are the 4 Times Dope podcast crew. Gentlemen, our first question: can being too religious be dangerous? Can being too religious be dangerous, to you, your family, the world? Kwame, we'll start with you. What do you think?
I think too much of anything can be dangerous, to be honest with you. I don't think necessarily religion, but since we're talking about that, I think it can be dangerous to a certain extent, like to the point where, and when I say dangerous, I mean like in the sense of just people maybe not be using common sense for certain stuff, and they putting everything, I guess,
detrimental
on a religion, and it might be even false information that it's putting out there. I think spirituality is. I think religion can be great. I think spirituality can be great. You know what I mean? I think it's just within a certain means, and you also got to do your own research, use your own mind to certain things, whatever and stuff, and make a determination into what's going on. So sometimes I think it can hinder people when say for example, so if you got this overly religious person, like I don't say like a grandmother or a mother, and they trying to put all this on this person. I think, like say, a kid or a child or something like that. I think it might deter that person in a negative way. I mean, granted, you may get some great values, some great principles and stuff from learning about the Bible or learning about the Quran, whatever it is that your religion is. But also too, I think if you put too much on somebody, it can push somebody in a way that you probably don't want to. And I begin to think about just going to Central, and I could think a couple people in mind that when I found out they were preachers' kids or the deacon's kids, I was like, damn, you the deacon kid, you know what I mean? And they could probably quote the Bible back and forth and tell you, all the books and everything and give you all the stuff, but they wasn't the main ones popping that thing for some of those females, and some of the guys was smoking and doing all that other stuff, and you would never know. But they got that freedom once they left that coop. Man, they freaking was off the chain. They were the main ones.
Yeah, I think all those folks like that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's my opinion about it.
All right, Kasharo, can being too religious be dangerous?
Definitely, I definitely think it can be, and it's so funny that we talking about this because this fell in my lap today, just maybe less than 2 hours ago. Have y'all ever? Somebody was talking to me about this. Have y'all ever heard of soaking? Like you know what
Soaking.
soaking
I
is?
actually have. I saw it
Yeah.
on something. I think it was TikTok.
Is it
I
I don't know where I saw
SOAK?
it, but I did see it. Yeah.
Yeah, where basically
Mormon.
Mormon teens and college students basically a dude will stick his penis in a girl's vagina and just sit like there's no movement. He just stick it in. They just lay there, and they call it soaking. And to them, that's not having sex, like because there's no movement. And then there's another word, so I forgot what it was, jumping or frumping or something. But basically, those two people are sitting there, penis and vagina, but someone else will come and jump on the bed and make it bounce to make it feel like, the movement. But to
Right.
them, that's not having sex. And to me, like that's dangerous. You still can
workaround.
catch diseases. You still
Yeah.
can end up pregnant. Like that's dangerous. But
You're
they
pretty
believe this in their religion, like they're
Mhm.
not having sex. So to me, that's a good example of that's dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
but that's what they believe. So
It's semantics, man. That sounds like to me trying to
Yeah.
fire that stuff just to make sure they saying
Right.
you're doing it, but you still doing.
you still doing it.
You already there.
You already there.
You don't broke the law.
Flash, what are you talking about?
That's like smoking, right? Bill Clinton. I inhale.
I smoked it, but I didn't
Right.
I
inhale.
smoke what I didn't inhale.
Right.
Same thing.
Put
So
it
that
in
was
there.
that was like just
hung
an example
out.
to me. Yes. So it definitely can be dangerous. In other ways, I think you have some people who take religion like way too serious to the point,
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
out here killing and shooting people, because you don't
In the
believe what I
name of.
believe. Right.
Yeah.
God told me to do this, or whoever told them to do it, go shoot up this building. So I think it can be very dangerous.
The spaghetti monster told me to do this too. Gotta do it.
Right.
All right, Jermaine. Can being too religious be dangerous?
Short answer, yes. And I say that because I believe faith and religion clash, right? I think religion can dictate faith. So with that being said, what is faith means what? To believe something without evidence, right? All right. So right. So if you believe something without evidence, that justifies anything. So you're no longer at that point vulnerable to someone challenging you on what you believe, right? Long story short, I just feel like if you believe it without evidence, then you don't have to argue that case. You don't need religion to push you into or mold you or condition you into believing something beyond that.
Mhm.
You think about things like logical progression that goes from believing in faith in your God to killing people in masses, right? In the name of God or Allah, whatever the case may be. That's like a thin line, man, between cultism and faith. So me personally, I stay clear of men and women who are overly religious, who are you hear them talk about their pastor a lot or the preacher a lot, and you ask them, have you ever in your life read the entire Bible yourself? It's like, no. They're only familiar with those most popular chapters or books in the Bible, which is rhetoric. You just regurgitate, right? You regurgitate because it sounds good, but you really don't understand what you you haven't. Right. So yeah, to answer your question, definitely, certainly, I think religion.
Right.
Oh yeah, it certainly be dangerous.
Shoot, ask them people, ask them followers of Jim Jones back in the 70s.
Right.
Who was the guy who died? They were in Texas. Oh, were they in Texas? They all had the same Nikes on.
Yeah. You talking
Bop or something?
Didn't like the FBI or somebody trying to like raid the house or something?
No. That's David Koresh, and he was a wild boy too.
Right.
That was in Waco, Texas. This is just, I think maybe California's a white guy, blonde hair,
I can't
crazy
think of
eyes. Where he had a lot of these people wear these Nikes and shit, and they all drank the Kool-Aid and laid in their beds and waited for the comet to come. And shit, it could have very well been the truth, but they did though.
They did, yeah. But look, even with a lot of these mega churches, organized religion will structure the church so that the closer you are to the pastor, the more you tithe, right?
You are to Jesus,
right? And a lot of these churches, when you become members, especially as husband and wife, you guys got to submit your W-2 forms out the gate, right? You get them up. We need that. We need those W-2 forms, right? We need that. And here's the other thing too. I'm not saying church is like a soup kitchen, but I don't understand how a lot of the congregation, these folks are like, some are genuinely struggling, man. And the pastors are pushing these $100,000, $200,000 cars, and you can't even get an email back from your pastor. So I just think, again, that's an example for me of religion controlling the masses into being a part. It's like a fraternity or sorority. Folks want to be a part of certain things.
Certainly.
In the name of whatever it takes. So
well,
Jamie,
my
what you
answer is
think?
clear. Yeah. The answer's in the question.
Right.
And being too much of anything is certainly bad.
Right.
And being overly religious, or just going in these things without any clear scientific definition about what you better get yourself into will, lead to demise. I mean, these blind people going into these things, and it's just like, okay, what did you expect to happen? We could go on and on, but man, you just want to pull some people out of them. Like, no, that ain't what you think it is. So when you think about the Bible, I'm not familiar with what do the Muslims read out of?
Quran.
I'm not familiar with the Quran. I'm somewhat familiar with the Bible, but from what I gather from the Bible,
they're similar.
Okay, what I gather from the Bible is a bunch of parables, which are great. It's great stories. These things scientifically can't be true, but that's okay to admit out loud. I doubt that man lived in a whale's belly for that amount of time. What is it? Daniel lived in his belly for how long?
Not sure.
7 days, whatever it is. Like, nigga, he was dead. If that's the story, that's just not physically possible. But I appreciate the parable. I appreciate the story of triumph of how he got out of it. But don't be going to believe that's true. I dated a young lady, and she looked at me in my face and told me, Jamie, I believe everything in the Bible to be true. I knew then it wouldn't work. I just settled on that and said, well, shit, this ain't gonna work. And I thought we were gonna have a future together, but that's just not how. That's just not how I want a partner to think.
She believed it literally.
That's what I'm trying to say, Jermaine. She believed everything in the Bible literally. These are parables, friends. These are parables. These are
they're lessons.
They're lessons.
Yeah.
If you believe them to be true, okay. But each and every story you heard in that Bible to be true. I mean, we can go back over it. We can start at the top. Who's told the stories? And the time between Christ and then when the guy told the story, you can tell me something, and I got to tell somebody else. What I heard and what I told him are two different things. So we can get off to the things about particulars, but I knew then that I lost her, and it was not going to work out. She said, "You don't believe it, too." I'm like, no.
I know these young ladies who they grew up Christian, strong Christian background. I met them when I was like in the sixth grade. I was in the sixth grade with one sister, and there was two older sisters, two above us. One was one ahead of us, and the other one was two ahead of us. And they wore dresses every single day.
Were they jean dresses?
Yes. To this day, they still wear. I ran into one about 3 months ago. I hadn't seen her in years. To this day, they still wear jean dresses. Now, my question would be now is, what part of religion is that? Or is that more so a man-made tradition?
Yeah, that's a tradition.
It's a choice.
It's a small piece in the Bible they pulled out and said, no woman should wear pants or something.
Yeah, I mean, I have a cousin.
To cover your head and you come in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the unfortunate part there, I think, because because there's been a lot of corrupt stuff that came out of some of these churches and kind of religion. I think it makes it bad for a lot of the because the churches and or synagogues or whatever you want to call, or places of worship that actually are doing good things in the community, who are not taking advantage of people and who are giving great life lessons and giving people this faith and hope. And I think, because of the bad take, I think it turns a lot of people off, or people don't come in trusting now because of so much stuff's been told.
I think that's a separate conversation too, though.
Yeah.
Because the question is, you can very well be over, you can go over the top some of the stuff and also help, but you can miss the point a lot of times and go past the point and get caught on the island where you decided to not. What is a nun do and then the priest do? Like the nun said, I'm married to Jesus, right? So I'm not having sex with nobody. I'm married to Jesus, and we accept that as what it is. And a priest said, I'm not having sex either. I don't know who he's married to, but that's just not healthy. Right. Over time, it just can't be good. No telling what the people doing over there. But that's their opinion. They want to stick with it. But that shit that's dangerous.
Yeah. So talking about dangerous. Do you think? And this kind of shifting gears a little bit, but what's your thoughts about like when people kind of use the word like hood and ghetto? Do you find it like offensive to I guess to our culture, to Black culture, when that's used, or it's not a thing that you feel like it's just a thing that we say and use? It's not a big deal. Shar, what's your thoughts about hood and ghetto?
That's it's interesting. I think it's all about how it's said, when you use those terms, because I can admit it's been times where someone has said to me, it's like, why you ghetto? I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but it was like they said I was ghetto in a derogatory way, and I got defensive about it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, now where I am now, I'm like, why would I even trip off, the word?
Right.
I guess the delivery of it. But I am too guilty of it at the same time, because I know I said in conversation before, like I'm really not attracted to hood chicks, you know what I mean? But somebody may take offense to that, like, what you mean you're not attracted to hood chicks? I'm just like, I'm not, I'm like, I grew up around that, so I really didn't want that. Like, that wasn't going to be attractive to me. But someone can take offensive to that. I think it's a characteristic. You know what I mean?
But you recognize. It's something that you recognize that you don't want.
Definitely. I don't want that. But like I said, I've been guilty of that, but also just being free with it and loosely, because I remember one time, one of my birthdays, y'all know Peach Pie, our lovely friend Peach Pie, Tawana Green's sister, at a birthday party, and y'all know I love to dance, but we was dancing. And I remember I was yelling out too. I was like, keep it ghetto, Peach, keep it ghetto. Like, I was saying keep it ghetto the whole time. And we was having a good time, but I found out later on, she was like, does Kishara think I'm ghetto? Because he was telling me to keep it ghetto.
Like, I'm like, keep it ghetto,
I don't
Peach.
Think that. I was just like, keep it ghetto.
Do the dance.
Keep the you know what I'm saying? Dance. So I think it's all about how things are said, who you say it to, when you say it.
Who asked you? You said you don't like a hood, but what's your definition of a hood chick, though?
Like, I don't like, for me, like, I can't deal with a chick who like rough around the edges. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to be prissy. I need you to be dainty. Like, I need that. Like, I need you to be able to hold your own. I like a little spice and feistiness, but I just can't do that rough chick type still.
You still ain't gave us no definition.
It's kind of hard.
Nigga dancing around that question.
Be tiptoeing around.
Keep it ghetto.
I'm trying to think of an example, like somebody I would totally not be. Okay, good example. Like Eve. When Eve first came out, like to me, Eve was a hood chick. I didn't like looking at Eve. I couldn't even listen to Eve music. But when she got girly and feminine, I started liking Eve then.
She found a lane.
You know what I mean? Like, she was pretty. Like, oh, she's like, she she was feminine to me. She was sexy to me. But then when she did hoods, I couldn't deal with that hood stuff. You know what I mean? But on the other token, you know, Lil' Kim always been hood. But I liked Lil' Kim. But she carries herself a different way.
Her presentation is a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you wouldn't date Lil' Kim if she wasn't Lil' Kim though. Like the old.
Oh no, I wouldn't date her. I'm just talking about what I would be considered like if it between Eve and Kim, I would definitely go for Kim first. You know what I mean? When Eve first came out, not Eve now. Eve first came out to when Kim came from out, I would definitely go after Kim before Eve because I just couldn't. That wouldn't do nothing for me.
Nothing.
Yeah, at all. Like I didn't even like chicks who wore Timbs like back in the day. But then I found like, oh, okay, this is gonna be cute. This could be sexy.
How she presented it.
Yeah, it's all about presentation. So for me,
I'm gonna tell you right now that I know that I hate using the word hood and ghetto too, but like, you know, some people may consider was a princess from Crime Mom is I guess hood and ghetto, but to me she's attractive, and you know, I mean I don't know if that's weird or not, but to me I think she's attractive.
She can physically be attractive, but then she has to, you know, operate and talk and speak around you and do things like, you know what? Right. I'm good.
And that can change everything. You're right about that. Go for her mouth the first 2 seconds, and I'm like, oh no, I'm good.
Thank you.
It's almost like seeing that good-looking chick in the club when smoking was allowed at the time.
Yep.
As soon as she put that cigarette, and it turns everything off about
with
how
this shit too, nigga.
Just that drag, and you just turn up.
Good example.
No, but thank you. Bye.
Great example.
But we shifting it. We talking about hood chicks now. That's not what we're talking about. The question was hood or ghetto. So, but I made my point. So go ahead. Just want to make sure we stay on track here.
Yeah,
you're right. We did shift.
Good point, by the way, too, Kashaga.
Jamie, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, hood or ghetto. I mean, using the word hood or ghetto, it certainly is offensive to the culture, but we have to make peace with what those words signify. Those things do exist in our culture. Right. They are a thing. And I think it's about how what are you signifying as hood and or ghetto? Because you can't deny it, man. I mean, there are plenty of projects in this country, and that's where you could find a lot of hood and ghetto shit.
Right.
So it's who we are signifying as hood or ghetto. Like if you were to suggest that Simone Biles is hood or ghetto, that is a lie. She's a consummate professional. She's an athlete, and she's one of the best in her industry. Mm-hmm. So that is an untruth. That's not what it is.
Based on what we see.
Based on what we see. Based on her history. I mean, like there's a ton of history that she's not hood and or ghetto.
But what would make her hood or ghetto right now doing what she does?
Defining what hood and ghetto is though. That's
right. Hood and ghetto is how you speak. You know, how you handle yourself, how you're talking to people. I mean, if you have, say for instance, you wanted to make a transaction, but you had no clue how to do so. You know, you don't have a cell phone, you don't have a bank account, you know, proper backing. So it's not necessarily the person, it's pretty much their history.
Well, you'd be like, what kind of ghetto mess is that?
What kind of it didn't fit because no one exposed you to it. So it's not really your fault. It's just, you're just living in your truth of where you located right now.
Well, the problem, Jamie, you're absolutely right. The problem, and I ain't gonna cut you off too much. The problem is we're comparing. Okay, so it's about past experiences. It's about standards. So basically, what we're doing is we're taking these substandard characteristics and we're measuring them against what white society says is valid and what's not valid, from vernacular to having a dominion over the English language. Who speaks well? If you don't speak well, or if you don't have
English,
right, or if you don't have these middle class job interview skills where you can look folks in the eye, shake their hands, and volley words back and forth, then it's less subservient. So all we're saying, well, I'm gonna talk about this in a second, but it's about standards. We're comparing subserviency to what America has said or deems it what is official, and that's that imbalance.
That is true. That is exactly what I'm suggesting. And
does hood and ghetto attached with financial status?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
That's where you really want to start it.
That's the bulk of it.
All right, but that's not
Well,
the
it
only reason,
says
though. That's not the only reason, though.
No.
I mean, that's probably the majority.
No, but that's the anchor.
That is the anchor.
Because you have people that, you know what I'm saying, that have plenty of money, but I guess, quote unquote, they may not carry themselves that way, you know what I mean? So, you know, but I guess, and by large, yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah.
But I think it could backfire too, because I feel like, you know, certain people may look at us if we go into a certain neighborhood, they looking at us like we don't belong there, you know, and make comments like, why you in my hood? Like, you don't belong here, you know, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it could be, that could be offensive to me. And I'm like, I should be able to go in any hood and, you know, do whatever I want to do, chill with whoever, you know what I mean? But some people don't. It's offensive to some people. They feel like you coming into their spot,
right,
and like you better than them. You don't even think that. That's the first thing from your mind. You know what I mean? So I think the perception goes both ways. I guess bougie. They be bougie, which that ain't what we are. We just been exposed to different things.
It's just your exposure level.
Yeah, we can't come.
I think that's a better approach to it. What is your exposure level?
But people perceive people who's not, you know what I'm saying, that they perceive that got some kind of, I don't say even success, but perceived to be born, I guess, even okay as them being bougie or that they veterans. And then, you know, I think sometimes my mom kind of say like, oh, she thinks she this and that. I'm like, what makes that person think they this and that? They didn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Well, I think, Kwame, I like to say Booker T. Washington and Lane Locke, they talk about the double consciousness. I won't go into that for the sake of time.
No, what does that mean?
So the double consciousness is when we're in white space, we see ourselves through the lens of white people, how they see us. So in order to make them comfortable, we take on their characteristics. We dress like them, we talk like them, we mimic them to make them comfortable with us in their space.
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
And that's statistically proven where we do that, right? Especially when you're the only, I think I'm the exception. I wear Timbs and shit to work. I do. I'm sorry. But it's not like thugged out, but I'm me. I'm my personality. Right. But there's this thing, and I need, you know what? I need to copyright this too. I created this term, and I use this when I speak, called the triple consciousness. And what that Kashara and Kwame just talked about it. I like to say that something that's rarely talked about when we talk about, like, all these things come from the hood, right? A lot of folks don't know that the ghetto used to be a great place back in the day, right? It was a garrison where folks gathered for church and stuff like that. Yeah, I won't go into that. But anyway, listen, slavery has done, this is what slavery has done to us. It's created a dichotomy of this. Watch this. So slavery has divided us cognitively and emotionally to the point to where if you don't make it from your small town or from your inner city community, your single parent home, if you don't make it out of there by means of Black hood success, you are deemed as a traitor, and you're looked at as escaping that environment by way of white means of or perspective of escaping. So now you're too successful and too bougie to go back comfortably, and you're not Black enough to go into these white circles. And we're stuck in the middle you see what I'm saying? We're stuck in purgatory. You're in purgatory. So and not to take up so much time, but it's a great theory, and that's what it's done. It's when you exit that environment, if you don't exit, because remember now, success is failure and failure is success in the hood.
Yeah.
When you come home from prison, you get a party, baby. I seen it. You get a party. Graduate from college and come home.
Or go to college and come back.
Or go to college. It's not celebrated because it's not that type of success is not relatable to those folks.
That's real.
I never recognized it. It wasn't relatable. I'm not familiar with going to college.
Your
about it, but I don't know what it looks like.
Jamie, your success, Kwame, your success, and Kashawa, your success is unrelatable. That it's levels of understanding, it's levels of success back in those communities or in the hood. And a lot of success is not obtainable, it's not reachable. Some folks, they would never, they just can't place their minds
right.
in,
they didn't have
that
the proper resources to do
right.
so. And it's not their fault, quote unquote. And when I do mean resources, I don't mean money, I mean people.
Right.
So they weren't exposed early enough. I mean, it happens in late elementary, early middle. If you didn't get it just in time, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
So that's why they're building those prisons off those numbers. Like, well, I tell you right now, we got 12 coming out of this county right here already. So it's resources. It's your proper resources to my.
And there was a time when they may still be doing. They were building prisons based upon
numbers.
First graders and third graders coming from communities. They were projected to be in prison within the next 10 years.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The numbers.
Yeah, I think my perspective is, I want to go in the angle as far as using the word ghetto and
Kwame, don't forget me too, because I gotta come. I'm after you.
I thought you went. My bad.
Tell me you just didn't go, because I know you.
Go. How many cut cross?
No, you can go. Go ahead. I'll go after you. No.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So long story short, yes. Even though we use it, I use it. It is offensive, and I'll tell you why. For a number of reasons, but it's offensive because the term, it just lends an air of elitism, right? As if the person who's using the word is much better than the subject or the folks that it is what it is. So elitism is attached to the word. It's almost like it's akin to the N word. Even if we use it as a term of endearment, to me, it's still offensive, right? Now, I would say this too. It is an insult because it's associated. This is why I say it's offensive, because that word is associated with a whole class of people who are struggling. And it's equated often to a whole race of people, right? So that's why it doesn't matter if you're Black, there's a perception that you have ghetto qualities. You can have money, you can have access to great credit, you can have a nice car, nice house, but you still have ghetto qualities because that's the cloth you're cut from. And the problem with that is when you're poor or you're struggling and you're just trying to get by and you're trying to buy what you can, and your diet is your budget determines your diet and all these types of things. It's again, it's associated with a class of people, and it's another way of basically just saying, or it's another way of deriding a group of people. And also, let me say this too, it's used more in reference to a particular ethnic minority group. That's why I say it's rooted in classism and it's rooted in racism. And to me, it's synonymous to saying the N-word. It's all rooted in racism. The N-word was the last word a lot of us heard before they put that rope on our neck. And it's rooted in racism. So that's why I say it's wrong. Bottom line, I mean, even though we do use it, I just think it's wrong.
Yeah, you make a lot of sense, Jermaine, and that's
a lot. Yeah, a lot of stuff has hit me that you're saying, like I knew it, but you say it, it's kind of like, dang, you're right. Like it makes so much sense. Yeah,
and I kind of want to piggyback because I was kind of going in that role. You just broke it down really good. I tried, like I said, of course, we probably all have said it before, whatever. I think it's one of those things where, I try not to say period as much. I try to be more conscious of certain stuff now. But even if I do happen to say it and whatever, I'm very careful who I'm saying stuff around, And so it may say within my tribe, and when I say tribe, I ain't saying this any Black person. I'm just saying the people that I'm really familiar with, that I got a rapport with,
right?
More comfortable with. Yeah, I might can say things a little more loosely and stuff because at that point, if I'm saying around you, you know me, I know you, and so it's a little different thing versus somebody who really don't know me, and I'm saying
right. It's mixed company versus company.
there you go. And it goes back to one of the things that it's funny what you pick up as a kid. You don't really realize what it means,
man.
Older. But I know, like, I remember my dad. My dad was he did a little less than 20 years in the Navy. And I said, of course, you come from that military background, and they go in different parts. We live in Washington State. There ain't many black people. There's black people out there, but it's not a whole bunch of black us out there too much.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's the East Coast or down South, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got people who come from towns in the military who never seen black people before. You know what I mean? Like ever, except on televisions. Of course, their vision is what they see on television.
Right.
They don't know. They don't have a black person in their classroom or a black co-worker or the man in the bank or nothing like that, because they come from sometimes all white towns. So you got to be careful with what the perception is. You know, and so I think sometimes as a group, we're not familiar, like you said, mixed company, who's around, who's looking, what's listening. So I remember my dad was saying that, like, you know, they've been in the boat watching TV and stuff like that. And at the time, just tell you how old this is. I remember he was saying that, you remember Nell Carter from Give Me a Break?
Right.
Yeah. So he was saying they was like, I guess, you know, watching television and everything. And it was one of his other black sellers were just like, yo, just talking trash about her. Like, this fat black bee, yada, yada, yada. She ugly and yada, yada. But he's just saying, laughing. And a group of white guys up here just laughing, just enjoying every bit of it. And even if he felt the way he felt, like this person didn't have enough conscience to be like, okay, this is what they think about us anyway. And now you up here perpetrating this thing and downgrading his sister, calling her black and calling her, you know, big or whatever case may be, whatever. I think that's kind of just one of the same things when it comes to using the word ghetto and hood. I think if you say that, like you said, mixed company, I think people outside, because like you said, associated a lot of times, you say with a social economic group, or which usually trying to base it off, you know, us, really black people, really, you know what I mean? I think that gives them a sense of joy to the point that, okay, now even he thinks that too. He know they ghetto, he know they hood too, you know, whatever and stuff too.
Yeah.
He's it. So it's almost like one of those things that where, you know, like, you know, you have to be very conscious of. Even outside of it, even within ourselves. So I think you have to be very careful what you say and who you say things around. Because like I said, people are already against us anyway, and you don't want to perpetrate that image even worse than what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, I'm guilty of it. Just oh my gosh, just today because you know,
not today.
Yeah, today. But I was at home, but I'm trying to get better because you know kids pick up everything. But you know, Addison, she was supposed to go walk the dog, but she had her bonnet on, and I was like, where do you think you going? She was like, I'm going to walk the dog. I was like, no, you're not. I was like, you're not going outside with no bonnet on your head. You ain't doing that. That's ghetto. We don't do that. You know, she was like, ghetto. I was like, yeah, that's ghetto. So we're not doing right. So I was like, we'll talk about it when you come back in. So I had to.
But the thing is, like I said, like even you saying that, you probably feel that way, but we condition to say it, and we think that's just okay.
Yeah,
and it's almost like you could have said the same thing. You're not presentable to go outside like that. It's not like, and you say the same thing, but you're not saying it like in a way that how other people say. Yeah, of course we think it. I think it all the time. I mean, I go in and like, you know, in my mind, but I try not to like, you know, not to say it out loud.
You gotta go slow.
Exactly. So that turned into a whole conversation today about words and how to say things. Yeah, I had to get on her. So we don't say that. You don't say it to people. I was like, you know, I was wrong, but this. We just don't do that. Like that's not appropriate. Right. So yeah. But the kids. But anyway, so speaking of the kids, what do y'all think about, or what is your reaction to your kid being in a fight and somebody getting the best of your kid? How would you respond to that? Or either your wife or girlfriend get into a fight or argument. No fight, I'm saying fight, not argument, fight. And someone getting the best of them. Like, what is your reaction to that? How would you respond to that? Jermaine.
Let off some rounds, but no, just playing. Yo, that's a good question.
How much?
I think right. I think instinctively someone you care about, if they're getting if someone's getting the best of them, I think instinctively your instincts is to get them out of that particular situation, right? Because you don't think about that. It's not one of those things where you can say, this is what I would do, this is what I wouldn't do. I don't think. I think when it happens and you react to it, like boom. I don't know if I'll swing on another woman. It just depends. Well, let me go back. I don't have any children, but I can only imagine like my nephews or something like that. I think because they're boys, well, it don't even matter. I think I would be more prone to intervene and get them away from them or break it up. And then whatever happens after that, whoever swing on me, that they got to deal with that. That's on them.
Right.
But my girl or my wife, my woman, kind of the same thing. If a one woman, if two, obviously it's two people, then it's no telling what will happen, honestly, because at that point you're like, okay, I got to protect myself and protect her. But just one woman, I think me more so instinctively is to break it up, whatever means it is, to safely break it up. I don't think I will put my hands on a woman, not like I would put my hands on a man. But it would certainly be uncomfortable to see somebody I love, somebody getting the best of them. But I mean, and then too, you gotta think about it like this too. It depends. I'm not saying I will let my child get drugged, but sometimes there's lessons in certain things, right?
True.
I know for me, I remember it was times when at the park, if I had a problem, I had to kick ass or get my ass kicked by my elders.
Either
right
way.
So that was my mentality, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, but not to sway off, guys. I think instinctively I am like, okay, let me intervene, let me get in the middle of this, and let me see if I can get them out this situation, because a lot of times too, that's dangerous as hell to break up stuff, to get people out of certain situations.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
So that can be dangerous too. That can be really dangerous. But yeah, I think, but 10 toes down, I stand on this. I'm definitely gonna get them up out of there. Whatever I need to do to get them out that situation and maybe reset it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or just to get them out that situation and say, hey, you know what? Let's roll. We can talk about it later. You took an L, but don't worry about it. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's a part of life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But to get out of that thing alive, I think that's more so what I'll be thinking about.
Okay, cool. Jamie?
Yeah, so the comedian in me would just receive it as what it is, and then certainly get my child and wife out of the situation. But if they're getting the best of my baby, my child like, did you at least pinch the bitch? There is some comedy to be had in this. You don't raise your kids to be fighters, not hell, if anything, you teach them an instrument. Rarely do we teach self-defense. Right. So you just swinging for, the child is just probably swinging for, for the fences, because they don't know any better. I can't expect you to swim if I ain't able to do swimming lessons. So I don't expect you to win this fight. But I do expect you to, get up out of there as soon as you can. I mean, lay your licks, but you got to get up out of there.
Right.
I got to get the child up now. If you hit my wife and she took it. Hey, look, that depends on how the day went. Did we have a good morning?
Mm-hmm. You deserve to get that.
Did we have a good morning? Because we had a good morning. I'm going to have to get my wife up out of there. But I'm going to have to wait a couple seconds. Nah, I ain't going to do this shit. I'm going to get my wife up out of there. But my reaction would be, what happened? And how did you get yourself into this situation? If you were attacked, let's go get them.
Right.
Let's go get them. We got to go get them. That's why they make guns.
Right.
We got to go figure out some things in the name of Smith and Wesson. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Right.
So the comedian in me would have jokes. I'm sorry. I would laugh at child and wife in their face. You was swinging, baby boy. You was missing. So yeah.
Okay, Carmi.
Yeah, well, to me, I think it's two different parts when it comes with the kid
Yeah.
and the wife. I'll start with the kid first, and I'm saying this like not being that situation. I don't know what kind of situation I'm gonna get in the future or how I would feel, and I think it's kind of what Jermaine said. Sometimes it's kind of like very reactionary how you would deal with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know this question actually at least came from a situation that happened maybe like a month ago in Florida where this mom she basically got arrested for basically helping her son was getting bullied but basically and it's so when she went up to school the next day I guess the bully trying to fight her kid and so she was basically I guess they said they ended up arresting her for grabbing the bully's arm and hair or something like that and I guess they were saying and she was trying to get the kid off her son and it's kind of one of those things like, okay, maybe she did that, but they're like, is that a reactionary of a mom just trying to protect their kid or what? And to me, I think it depends on certain things. Sometimes if it's like it's shooting a fair one, and if your kid lost, I mean, like you said, it's a lesson to be learned in losing. You know what I mean? Sometimes, but also I think that's way different than you got a group of kids jumping your kid or something, or
Right.
way
Right.
older than the kid that's beating them. You know, I think there's two different things, and you may respond differently depending on the situation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would hate to have to like, you know what I'm saying, to be in that situation, but it might be a possibility, and you don't know how you're gonna react. You know, as your kid come back crying and stuff, and somebody bust them up, and your reaction just to be protecting mode, and you
Right.
might first thing, the first kid there, you might just go ham. Now, I don't see myself doing that, but you just never know how that, in the situation.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, yeah, it depends, I guess. And I think when the wife or girlfriend situation, and if they like, say they get in an argument, sometimes you gotta know who you're dating too, and who you're dealing with too.
That's
True.
I mean, because sometimes that person can put you in some situation, and I kind of not necessarily or could possible situation. Like one of my exes, whatever, she'll pop off so quick, and I feel like it been a couple of times where I feel like she's in the wrong, running her damn mouth. You know what I'm saying? And she's saying something, knowing but scared of everything. You know what I'm saying? But talking is
Was this the thought bot?
nah, not that one.
No.
Oh.
Who is this?
We will talk about that later.
Okay.
Y'all ain't put together yet? Sure,
I think I have.
yeah, but either way, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's such
Last X.
you know what I'm saying? Like she, jumping them and just like, just basically starting the stuff or just reacting to the way where it is. And you just like, yo, I had to like kind of like just diffuse situations because she's jumping out there like that. Maybe I shouldn't diffuse and let her just get her damn head knocked.
I mean, that's what it sounds like, dog. You just let her out there, like,
Yeah.
you running your damn
And
mouth.
that would be a situation where a lesson would need to be learned because
Right.
you keep snapping off at people and creating these problems. Maybe you do need to take an L on this one, so you will know the next time. Maybe you just need to chill.
Yeah, you might need to think about what she's saying before you go ahead and react. You know what I mean, and everything. So that's why I said I think the situation may vary, depends on who it is. But I guess the situation, if it's not where the person who's the aggressor, then you might do it a little bit differently, I guess. So yeah, it's case to case, case to case situation.
It's very situational.
Very.
A lot of this is very situational, but there's comedy in all of it for me.
It is.
Well, for me, it's a no-brainer. Two things. Because Kwame made a good point just now. He said the person come home. If my kid come home bloodied up or whatever, then I just gotta go outside and we go into the situation and talk to whoever we need to talk to. Kid, it might be a little aggressive talking to the kid, but then we're gonna go talk to your parents too if they're available. But that's how it would be. Now, seeing it and go down, that's a different story for me. I'm sorry. Now I'm not gonna put my hands on nobody's kid. I'm not gonna do that. But you can best believe it's gonna be a strong yank up. You get off of my kid. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
like
goddamn
it ain't. It's not. I'm not gonna be able to just sit there and let it happen. I just can't. It's just not gonna happen.
Let me ask y'all, how do you think any of y'all would act if your kid is the aggressor who beat somebody up or kind of started and then the parent
Same way.
I'm gonna get on the same way. Like
Same way.
Yeah.
Because that's not how I raise or I would raise my child. It would be more so defensive mode. You know what I'm saying? We work,
that's what we're thinking.
Yeah, we work in defense over here. We're not gonna start it, but we're gonna finish it. That's
Rarely is your child the bad guy, but that's a great question because I don't have an answer.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same.
I would be embarrassed if anything. Like what the
right. I mean, it can happen the other way around too.
It can.
Yeah. But sometimes people don't like to hear about their kids. You know what I mean? Everybody do, and they get very offensive about
the parents who are in denial.
I
have issues with those type of
child's
parents.
a damn angel.
The biggest damn freaking hell raiser it is. And it's so funny because now we're talking about this. I remember I was about third, second grade, whatever and stuff. And I was playing the part. And there was some older kids than me. They was basically telling me like, yo, you need to go and put sand on this boy's pants, other little boy's pants. And I didn't want to do it, but they was like, yo, if you don't do it, we're gonna jump you. So of course I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I went here and grabbed the sand, poured it down his boy's pants, whatever and stuff. Boy went home crying and went told his mom. So of course the parent comes to my
you in trouble either way.
And stuff. And and they asked me if I did it. And they know, like, yeah, I did it. My damn dad wore me the hell out in front of the whole damn neighborhood.
Damn, I took the L from the friends.
And I'm just thinking, I'm telling, well, them kids ain't gonna jump me if if I didn't do it. My dad was like, well, do you want to get jumped by them, beat by me? I'm like, my mom, like, is this a trick question or what? Like,
I got set up. This is a setup.
It's a setup for real.
So,
I had a bad day. I did not want this to happen, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's real
business before. I wasn't even thinking about the other kid either. Like I was, and then it's just a situation where somebody wants to see something happens for the entertainment.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
Entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's how this is, and it's the same for me for my wife. It's the same way. Yeah, I'm not gonna put my hands on a woman, but you can best believe it's gonna be a strong yank up off her. You're not
about to
beat her
do this.
down. I'm just gonna stand there. That's not happening. Sorry.
No,
not at all. But that's just me in general anyway. People I really and truly care about, because I'm very, very overprotective. And I'm trying to get better with that, but I'm very protective of people I care about. You know what I mean? Like even y'all, if it's something go down, trust and believe I'm gonna be there. It's going down. I ain't gonna just sit there. Like I wouldn't be able to just sit there and watch that. You know what I mean? It's just who I am.
Right.
I can't help that. So
instinctively you won't.
Yeah, it's just how it is. I mean, it's funny
for
talking about this because when I was going over our discussion, I had a thought like, y'all probably remember this, but I do because the things you remember. It was 96, 97. I don't know if it was going to a basketball game in McDougal or a step show or I don't know what it was, concert. I don't know, but we was in line, and I remember it was cold outside, and some tall, big, burly looking chick just came up and she jumped in front of me. We was in line, but I was in the front, so she jumped in front of me, but I didn't have a chance to react because I was so shocked she did it. But the three of y'all immediately jumped in like, who the F are you? Like, what you doing? Like, y'all immediately came to my defense at that moment. So that kind of stood out to me. And I always thought, I was like, well, I know something go down. They got my back.
I don't even remember that.
I remember it very well.
Let you know I'm a fight motherfucker, right?
Yeah. Hey, but you know what's worse? You know what's worse than seeing your damn girl get beat up is you getting beat up from your damn girl. Like, yo.
Especially if you've been talking, if you've been talking like all kinds of talking crazy to her, what you would do to her daddy and what you would do.
Right.
Yeah, that would be the worst, man.
The worst.
They probably don't respect you as a man no more. They look at you like, I mean, not that a guy can be every guy out there. Jesus, God.
I mean, you know what? I say this, dog. I talk a lot of shit, and I'm firm on. I'm sure I can get my ass beat on up by some average guy if you get me right.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna go after him more. So that's
exactly.
I will sneak that nigga later. I will go to his house. I'm relentless. So I think that's the difference. Ain't no fair one with me.
On site,
nigga. I'm gonna get you. You may get me, but I'm gonna get you.
Right. That's crazy. You right though, Jim.
I can lose her respect, certainly, yeah. But I'm gonna go get my own You
The
know,
bitch is back.
I'm gonna go get my vengeance. I got to
Get
get
your
this
own
self-esteem back
gratification.
up. This shit got to
Yes.
go back up. I can't let you have it. I got to come get you. I got to fly to Alaska. It's got to go down. I got to have you.
Definitely. All right.
Man.
Jermaine, what you got for us, brother? What you got?
All right, so hey, that was really good conversation, guys. That was awesome. I enjoyed every bit of it. So our dose of dopeness for this week goes to a woman by the name of Shanae Sheppard. Her mom, her dad, and her brother. They are the owners of Sunset Raw Juice Bar. Sunset Raw Juice Bar has 100% raw, cold pressed beverages, no HHP juice blends. They have acai bowls, fruit smoothies, and a lot more.
Acai bowls.
Yes.
Yeah, not acai bowls, because I used to
I
call
say
them that.
I say acai. I've been saying it wrong all my life.
Acai.
Acai.
Oh, is this organic?
That's exactly what it is. All of it.
All this organic.
Okay.
Yeah. They have 2 locations. The first location is in Owens Mills at 10160 Reisterstown Road. The second location, which is the location I frequent a lot, is in Maple Lawn, which is Skaggsville area, but Maple Lawn, Maryland.
Near Columbia.
Columbia, 11710 East Marketplace, Fulton, Maryland. All Maple Lawn, Columbia, all that's the same.
Yeah.
Again, that's 11710 East Marketplace. IG and Facebook are both the same, at Sunset Straw Juice Bar. The website is www.sunsetstrawjuicebar.com. Please, if you are in, not even if you're not in the area, check them out, y'all. They have some awesome stuff. I go after my workouts. Honestly, I go before my workout and after my workout. Shanae is actually at the Fulton locations. Awesome folks. And again, it's a mom, brother, and dad and sister. Family ran.
Good stuff.
Black owned business. Oh, and the other location at Owens Mills, all of the Ravens players frequent that location a lot. A great deal. So they're doing some great stuff, y'all. Check them out.
What do you normally when you go there? I'm looking at his menu right now. What do you normally?
I mainly do multi-mix fruit smoothie with extra ice. So I'll normally do or sometimes I throw some kale in one of my smoothies. I'll do strawberries, blueberry. I always do the blueberries for the antioxidants, but strawberry, blueberry, pineapple, or I mix it with orange or kale.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have any time of day? It's not breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Anytime. Yeah, any time of day. It's not breakfast, lunch, or day. And they actually sell juice that's already made, freshly squeezed, already made. It's already refrigerated. So it's they're doing some good stuff though. For real.
The hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Right.
That's the Owen Mills, but on Sundays it's 10 to 5 to Fulton, location. Right. Yeah, I might check it out.
Okay, I have to check them out. Yeah.
Probably 20 minutes.
Word up. Sunset Raw Juice Bar.
Right.
So those some dopeness. Cool. I have enjoyed the conversation tonight, fellas, and I hope our listeners and viewers have enjoyed it as well. And for all our viewers and listeners, you can find us on Facebook, IG, and Twitter at 4x Dope Podcast. And if you want to leave us any comments, questions, ideas, you can hit us up at 4x Dope Podcast at gmail.com. Did I say gmail.com? Yeah, that's right. I don't know why everything's a website, but yeah, you can email us. Also, check us out on www.shops2c.com for our 4x Dope merchandise, which is currently on sale. So